Nigga, I'm just saying though, nigga, it's Friday. Nigga, let's party. Nigga, let's get into it though. Yeah, Gangland at the dark. Y'all know what it is. We come in this motherfucker, man. We do what we do, man. Hey, everybody have a safe weekend. Everybody had a good week. The week almost over. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we blessed, highly favored. Come on now. Y'all know what it is. Hit the like button. Subscribe to that channel. Slap that notification bell. Every time we spin a block, y'all gonna spin it with me. I'm just saying, though, that shit easy as hell. Let's listen to another one, man. We about to get into this single to my album Rent Due. You know what I'm saying? And then we gonna get into this content as usual. So, yeah, man, y'all know what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to roll up. Happy weekend, you know what I'm saying? It's that good Friday, you know. Come on, man, tamper with me. What y'all thought I wasn't gonna go live tonight, huh? Y'all thought I wasn't gonna go live? Yeah, snuck up on you. Snuck up on you niggas. Yeah, snuck up on y'all. Yeah, y'all thought I wasn't gonna go live, huh? Snuck up on you. Yeah, snuck up on you. Come on, man, it's Gangland. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, we around. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Gangland TV. I appreciate y'all for surely. We about to get into this single. It's called Breathe. Shout out to my Mozzie niggas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Buzz Down Goonie. Shout out to my nigga Lil Moo Moo. You know what I'm saying? B.O.E. Moo Moo. Y'all know what it is. It's Gangland.
Psycho, what up, nigga?
It's Ron Mac, bitch. It's happening.
Man, play that shit, B.
Yeah. Same day action, nigga. But it kinda hurt, nigga. Yeah. Niggas say they on my topic, got the dropping, ain't no pressure. Straddle with this chop, I'm on your block with nothing less. 33 shots, I have his ass up on that stretcher. Them niggas ain't no shit, they soft as fuck when it come to texture. The streets be a gamble, get off the poach and roll a dice. Go ahead and trophy on your head just like some lights. Shimmy ass nigga, we ain't tripping off the price. Well, all you niggas broke and show a band and say they like. Get that goofy off the ground, nigga, go and get your mans. Them ice riding niggas, they be thumbing through them bands. Niggas ain't no silence in the suckers, it's a must. When it came behind that shit, we turn a nigga to some rush. Only fuck with real life is with my niggas savage. Y'all just looking like some pay, bitch, we really have it. I can show you how to catch a hat. Let a nigga touch mud, we spin it back to back. It's Ronald Mac, nigga.
You can't ride up in this low without a beat. How you funkin', bitch, you low up on your cheese. G.O.D., nigga. I get pissy on your block with F&E's. Got your mama crying, he smothered in the street. I cause a ruckus, I'm a problem when I creep. I get aggressive on the scene. Bounce out, walk up, I'm trying to spank him with a yeet. Ronald Mac, and Mumu told him 50 on the yeet. It ain't no passes, fuck suckers, drop below so we can breathe.
Hit your block, we left that nigga face down in the cold. You niggas troll, I'm the reason why that bitch ass nigga gone. Fuck my ops and your bitch ass better buy yourself a pole. Baby, do it, smoke your ass in broad day, them niggas cold. You niggas broke, I just blew 100 and spinning on some poles. Bitch, I was sleeping in the trap, bitch, you ain't never seen no dope man. Bitch, I'm top up, I get you grabbed just for speaking on it. Pop that nigga top and left that bitch nigga up in the gutter.
You can't ride up in this low without a beat. How you funkin', bitch, you low up on your cheese. G.O.D., nigga. I get pissy on your block with F&E's. Got your mama crying, he smothered in the street. I cause a ruckus, I'm a problem when I creep. I get aggressive on the scenes. Bounce out, walk up, I'm trying to spank him with a yeet. Ronald Mac, and Mumu told him 50 on the yeet. It ain't no passes, fuck suckers, drop below so we can breathe. 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 Drop below so we can breathe.
Niggas know me, been off the points is like back when. Gang in the field, bitch. We so like the Pac-10.
Gangland. We around this motherfucker, man.
Ron Mac, bitch. Stand on that. To the head, I'll show a nigga's feelings. My 9th and Wood, nigga, up the street from the village.
We ain't in it, you niggas don't throw no blocks, we ain't in it.
Make sure you put it down, never leave a witness. No love for the suckers, never on forgiveness. Stomp down on these niggas, cause niggas is big.
Ooh, about to blow something. Man got the stick, about to hold something. Ooh.
Y'all know what it is. It's Gangland TV. Sit there live. Hit the like button. Don't be boosty. And subscribe to the channel. and hit the notification bell, man. That shit easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Easy. Subscribing, that's free as fuck. Hit the notification bell, that's free as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That shit's free.
Gang in the field, bitch. We be
This Gangland TV, man. Gangland at the dark, man.
yeah. Gangland.
Yeah, man. We gotta get straight to it, man. This Gangland at the dark, and we gonna talk about it, bro. Y'all better stop playing with Gangland, man. Hey, when we come on here, man, we pop it, man. We talk about it.
Gangland. 40 crappie mouth, chop up crappie men. DM and pics of hella guns, but they won't drop a pin. Yeah, we gon' box you in. Wiggle through this section, we gon' box you in. From me, fine in Vegas, nigga, I be in the hood. Lower bottom, nigga, ain't no nigga running from life and hood. My click ain't hold up the Drake. Bet the starter can. Drum on everything up your block like a marching band.
Man, hey, y'all tap in, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel.
Shout out to everybody, you understand me, that pulled up yesterday to the Gangland.
Hey, man, y'all know this Gangland, right, man? Nigga gotta, nigga roll up. Hey, we ain't gonna leave you alone, gang. Huh? We ain't gonna leave you alone. What's that? Oh my Jesus. That's say a Neho, right? Oh my Jesus. Y'all know what this is right here? Oh my Jesus. It's nice and cold too. Oh my Jesus. Y'all go get some of this. Y'all gonna be like Ronald Mack, scandalous. I don't know why he showed us that shit. That nigga Ronald Mack got us out here. Well, come on, cheers. Yeah, man. Hey, we sip nothing but the exclusive, man. Fine shit. We ain't out here sipping them 211s, them pineapple 211s that bitch ass Dallas nigga be drinking. Rat shit TV, bitch bum boy. Yeah, man. This what the bosses drink, man. This what Gangland approved. You know what I'm saying? The Neho. Y'all see what's going on? Yeah. They party so much that they did. They party so much that they did on this motherfucker. They like, nigga, it's a thing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, man. That shit. Ooh. Ooh, wee. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's him right there, man. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. All right. Drink responsibly, okay? That shit right there, had your ass. We ain't talking about no Don Julio. We ain't talking about no Casamigos. We ain't talking about no Termana. We talking about what I just showed y'all. Please drink responsibly. Boy, that shit. Ooh, I hate for somebody to be, boy. Knees gonna be wobbling like a motherfucker, boy. On the real, nigga had to. Yeah. That thing hitting hard. Come on, man. Y'all hit the link, man. That's a party affair, man. Y'all hit the link. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, we around. We talking about it. Rich Homie Quan. We back on it. P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? The dealer. We own it. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? What's going on? I really want to know, man, the other people who's coming out after this fool snitch. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to get into it, though, man. Y'all know what it is. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Slap that notification bell. Every time we spin a block, y'all going to spin it with me, man. Y'all know what it is. Passion, what's happening? Passion,
What's going on, bro? Why you echoing?
That's you echoing. I ain't echoing. That's you echoing. You probably gotta turn the echo down on your shit. You gotta go to settings.
Nah, bro. I ain't got nothing on but this.
Nah, go to your settings. Go to audio.
Nah, bro. I ain't got nothing on but this.
And then look for echo cancellation.
Nah, bro. I ain't got nothing on but this.
Her shit was tweaky, huh, y'all? But that's what you got to do, though. You got to go to settings. Then you got to go to audio. Then you got to click echo cancellation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let me turn my shit up a little bit. Am I too loud? I'm just right. I'm cool. We messing with this new shit on here. They got some new. What the fuck? Come on, man. Ma'am, how you doing? Come on. Justice for Kesha White. How you doing? Y'all know what it is, man. Salute. All right, you back now. What's going on? Your service still nervous? What's going on? Passion, you there? Passion, what's going on? Justice for Kesha White. Hit the link, ma'am. Hit the link. I want to know what happened with you and your daughter. If y'all don't know who Kesha White is, y'all tap in. Y'all tap in, man. We gonna see if moms want to pop up here, man, and talk to us. You know, Passion, you good? I don't know. Anyway, while Passion get right, let's get right with this right here, man. Y'all know what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. It's Gangland.
What is a liar?
However, past interviews also show that Quan was addicted to Molly.
I couldn't do a show or a song without being on Molly.
So was the rapper killed because of the YSL RICO, or did he overdose? Let's find out. Shocking discovery. Rich Homie Quan's death has just got more strange. His girlfriend's details of events are the first piece of evidence that uncovers what happened to the rapper. According to Quan's girlfriend, Amber Williams, the rapper fell asleep on the couch. The following morning, Amber, assuming Quan was simply tired from his busy schedule, placed a blanket over him and took her son to school, leaving Quan still asleep on the couch. It was a routine morning, with nothing out of the ordinary. However, when Amber returned home later that morning, she noticed something was wrong. Quan hadn't moved from his spot on the couch. Concerned, she approached him and tried to wake him up. To her horror, she realized he was unresponsive. Panic set in as she checked for a heartbeat and found none.
No other state is like Nevada. I'm Nevada's Secretary of State, Cisco Aguilar, and my office is your trusted.
When she turned him over, she saw foam coming from his mouth.
I guess he was asleep on the couch. His girlfriend, who was the one who called 911, said that he was asleep. She put a blanket on him, left, took their kid to school, came back and realized that he had never moved from the couch, which was kind of weird for him. So she went to check on him. And when she went to check on him, she didn't feel a heartbeat or anything like that. So she turned him over and then he was foaming at the mouth.
The 911 operator instructed her to lay Quan flat on his back on the floor and to wait for paramedics to arrive. Despite her best efforts, it was clear that Quan was no longer alive. People have already concluded that he died from an overdose, with rapper Boozy Badass tweeting, "Just got word Rich Homie Quan just OD." And it does seem like Quan had a history of drug addiction. In an interview, the rapper revealed that there was a time in his life when he was addicted to Molly and couldn't do a show without first getting high.
Was there drugs involved?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I was on Molly every day. I couldn't do a show or a song without being on Molly.
At one time, the rapper's addiction almost killed him. In May 2014, during a music video shoot at Atlanta's Piedmont Park, the rapper suffered a medical emergency that saw him rush to hospital. Witnesses reported that he had 2 seizures, fell, and cracked his head. The rapper was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital, and within moments, social media was ablaze with concern and speculation. According to fans, the rapper's addiction to lean was the cause. However,
Man, they just saying anything. Hey, Passion, you can hear me? Passion, you can hear me? All right, that shit's still tripping. Let me go on, man. But first they saying Miley, he doing the Miley. Then they turn around and saying he it was the Serb. Nigga, make your mind up. Which drug is he doing? Make your mind up, bro. This shit crazy.
The rapper addressed the rumors, and in an exclusive statement to Billboard, he clarified that his collapse was not due to drugs, but rather the result of extreme exhaustion and the oppressive Atlanta heat. I just want to thank my fans and everyone who has called concerned about me, he said. I want to clear up two things. After being in 3 states in 3 days, up early having to shoot my video for walkthrough, and even sleeping in between scenes on top of filming in this humid Atlanta heat, I fainted and hit my head, he continued. It's no secret that I do turn up, I don't deny that, but I'm not addicted to anything including drugs, nor was I leaning at the shoot. The media is going to put fake stories out there, but I just want to let my fans know that I'm good and recovering. At the time, the Atlanta humidity was unbearable, and the temperature had soared to 80 degrees. The rapper had also been on an exhausting schedule, traveling across 3 states in 3 days. The relentless pace left him exhausted. Despite the fatigue, Quan pushed through, determined to complete the shoot. However, the combination of sleep deprivation and the sweltering heat proved too much. The rapper would later reveal what actually happened that day in a separate interview. He confessed that to stay awake during the tour, he had started using drugs.
Before some type of way, we was doing so many shows, I couldn't stay up. So I knew some people like, bro, I got something to keep you up. Kept me up.
It seems the rapper's schedule was getting busy again. From doing multiple interviews to shows, the rapper was busy on his grind. A few days before news spread that he had passed away, he posted this photo on his Facebook with the caption, Atlanta, few more weeks wilding out here and I'm back again. Get your tickets now. The rapper shared plans to appear on September 19th for the Wild and Out live tour, urging fans to get their tickets. Had the rapper started using drugs again to keep up with his busy schedule? While this may be a reason to overdose, there is another crucial reason. Death, and it involves foul play. It turns out that just days before he was found dead, he had discredited one of the key witnesses.
If you work hard, you should be able to make ends meet, but that's not how it is today.
The cost of living is out of control. I blame our elected.
We back on the phone. Everybody, you know, somebody got a dog. Hey, that's what we want to know. What that toxicology report gonna say? I know it ain't gonna say some type of way. Some type of way. Yeah. Y'all know what's going on, man. Hey, Miss Cynthia, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I opened up a federal case against everybody. And I'm representing myself, so I really haven't had time to be on here like I was at first.
So you represent yourself in the case?
Yes.
So
and now I'm glad I'm representing myself.
So how did you go about that? Like what was the first steps to be like, all right, I'm gonna represent myself?
Well, I mean, I did try to find an attorney, but it got to where it was so damaging because I'm reliving everything that happened to my daughter every time I'm talking to a law firm. And every time they're turning me down, I'm telling them what has happened as far as how the case has been handled, the obstructions of justice. And I didn't even realize at first that my civil rights were being violated. Once I did the research and figured that out and that I had evidence that I needed to move forward, I just went on and filed the complaint myself. So I'm what they call a pro se litigant. And I'm suing the hospital, the district attorney, and the medical examiner for violations of my First and 14th Amendments because of the way that they have obstructed justice in my daughter's death.
All right, for those who don't know Kesha White, kind of like catch them up and let them know your situation with you and your daughter.
Okay, well, my daughter was 26 years old, and she was a patient at, it was called Vital Medical Center. They have changed their name to ECU Health Medical Center.
And what city? What city that's in?
That's in Greenville, North Carolina.
Okay, I'm just trying to get them familiar with what's going on.
Right. And she was admitted because she was having complications from lupus and her kidneys were failing. And on the night of May 9th, 2014, she had demonstrated symptoms of lack of oxygen to the brain. She had complained of lack of oxygen. And the doctors had already prescribed her oxygen about a week prior to that because her chest was overfilled with fluids. So on this night, she was on room air. She was not on the oxygen. And even after demonstrating the restlessness, confusion, delusion, agitation, getting out of bed, feeling hot, all these different symptoms that were later determined to be symptoms of lack of oxygen to the brain, the nurse never gave her oxygen. When she complained of difficulty breathing to the nurse and to the care partner, the nurse still did not give her oxygen. So the nurse decided at around midnight to put her in restraints, put her in a vest restraint and bilateral wrist restraints, which at this point, that's assault and battery, because she didn't need the restraints. She needed the oxygen. The restraints were not necessary, but that's what that was the treatment. And back then I didn't understand the process or what was required or what was needed. But anyway, after, looking back at everything, that's what it ended up being. So they put her in restraints, but did not reconnect the cardiac leads. Now the cardiac leads to the cardiac monitor, there was doctor's orders for continued cardiac monitoring. And the wing that my daughter was on was designated for patients who require continuous cardiac monitoring. So the cardiac leads, those sticky things that they put on the chest with the wires.
Yes.
Yes, those things were not put back on before they put the restraints on. So about 1:51 in the morning, another order came in for oxygen. The nurse still did not give my daughter the oxygen. At 2 o'clock,
hold on, she still was restrained, right?
She was still restrained, yes.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m., the last oxygen reading was recorded to be 62%. The nurse still did not give her the oxygen. The nurse had been notified about 10 times from the cardiac monitor technician that the patient was not on the cardiac leads. And the nurse continued to tell the technician that my daughter refused to be connected. Meanwhile, reports later said that 2 co-workers asked the nurse if she would reconnect the cardiac leads, and she told them no, because she had done so 4 times already. And later in a board of nursing report, when they asked about her not connecting the cardiac leads, she told them that my daughter had wiggled out of the leads, which was, pretty much impossible, because I mean, the components you're looking at, then you have the body, you have the cardiac leads connected on the chest, then you have the hospital gown, then you have the posy vest, and then you have the sheet and the blanket and both arms tied to the bed. How long did she stand there looking at my daughter wiggle out of the leads, assuming that was even possible, and not do anything or to intervene? So anyway, my daughter ended up being found lifeless at about 5:45 that morning. And even when code blue was called, reports show that the nurse did not do anything to activate CPR. The care partner, or CNA, did release the wrist restraints, but the emergency response team had to cut off the posy vest and start chest compressions and put on the ambu bag across my daughter's nose. So she didn't even initiate CPR, even though she had been trained in CPR every 2 years during her, I forgot, 23, 22-year career. It was over 20 years that she had been an RN. So, she had the training. She had the training for proper restraints protocol, because restraints should have been released way before then, even if they were necessary. One of the, according to, protocol, when the patient is no longer demonstrating symptoms that require the restraints, then they're supposed to be released. So the nurse practitioner had ordered a ABG test, that's arterial blood gas test, and he ordered that at around sometime after midnight. And about 30 minutes later, the test was canceled, and the report showed that the nurse had something to do with that she contacted the nurse practitioner or something, and then he canceled the test. Now, that was the only test that was canceled, but yet it was the only test out of all the tests he ordered that would have told him that she was suffering from lack of oxygen.
is the lawsuit against the hospital and that specific nurse?
No, that would have been like a liability case, like wrongful death or medical malpractice or something, which, you know, at this point, you know, I can't do anything like that. But the civil rights case is what this is about. Because when the hospital, all the things that they have done over the years, you know, prevented me from being able to speak in court or have a day in court. You know, the court is supposed to be open. That's part of your First Amendment. They interfered with the investigations, the law enforcement investigations. They reported to the SBI when they were not supposed to, because only state agencies are supposed to bring the SBI, which is the State Bureau of Investigations. They're only supposed to be brought in on cases when requested by the district attorney or the or local law enforcement, like the police department or sheriff's department. Other than that, according to their website, if you have a report of something that is outside of their original jurisdiction, you're supposed to report to your local law enforcement. But what the hospital did was they kind of played with the requirement to my daughter's was supposed to be reported. Her death was supposed to be reported to law enforcement. But by playing with that and reporting to SBI agents instead, now they can say, okay, well, we did report to law enforcement. Even though that's not the way it's done, and SBI does not take cases that way. So even with them reporting to the SBI could not initiate an investigation or anything, because they don't act like that. They have to be invited by a state agency or assigned by the governor or something like that.
See, a hospital, it's kind of like when you send your kids to school, because I had an incident with my kid and a little boy said he was gonna stab him. Now, I'm like, don't you did what you were supposed to do. You came and told me, but it's like when you leave your kids at school, you think they're supposed to be safe.
Right.
Regardless of the fact, you would think they're supposed to be safe. When you leave your kid, when you left your daughter in that hospital, you presume that she was safe. You know what I'm saying? And she would be taken care of.
Right.
And that wasn't the case.
And that was not the case. No.
That was not the case.
And like I told you on one of the earlier interviews you did, the cardiac monitor was silenced in the room. And that was silenced.
And you have to manually do that. Like, it doesn't come, like, you have to manually silence that machine.
Yes, it was manually silenced. And then that prevented anyone in or near the room from getting alerts that my daughter was in trouble. It also prevented the cardiac monitor technician from printing cardiac rhythm strips. He could only print the what was on the pulse ox monitor that was on her finger. He could only print that, but he couldn't print any more cardiac rhythms. Those cardiac rhythms stopped somewhere just before midnight, I believe, or around 11:30, I think it said, is when those strips start printing from the cardiac monitor. And also, because of the silencing, no one at the nurse's station got alerts that my daughter was in trouble.
But ain't that illegal?
It's definitely, I mean, I can't say that it's illegal if there's no harm done, but in this case, harm was done.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, that should be illegal, because why would you turn off the monitor when she needs help?
Right. Like, the only thing we don't have, like, the board of nursing could not confirm that it was that nurse who did it. But I mean, with all the other failures, you know, it's not a far stretch to say she's the one who silenced the monitor. I mean, she caused the ABG test to be canceled. She denied the oxygen. She put my daughter through this for 11 hours. You know, so, but still, just the fact that the monitor was silenced shows some type of premeditation, no matter who did it. Because, I mean, you just don't do that. So anyway, after code was called and it took them about 15 minutes to get a heartbeat. My daughter was taken to ICU, but she was already brain dead. So we ended up taking her off life support. And, you know, so that's the history of that.
But tell them how when you heard that code, you kind of knew that they was going towards your daughter.
I had left to take a break.
Uh-huh.
I had left the hospital to take a break for a couple of hours. And when I got back to the hospital just in time to hear the code blue for her room. And I had just mashed the button to get on the elevator, and I heard code blue south 3 south 211, or I can't even remember now, but it was her room. And when I got upstairs, 2 ERT nurses was rushing to her room. So yeah. But you know, since the last time we talked, I think I had audio of the DA telling me that he had given the medical examiner the evidence, and then the lady at the medical examiner's office saying that they didn't have anything. I don't know if you remember that. But it was in those recorded conversations that you know, once I actually paid more attention to them past the time that we spoke, and I was like, wait a minute. I said, you have this is more about this got more on it. It's not just about whether or not the DA sent the evidence. When you listen to her name was Miss Lowry say that we are not doing anything with this case, and that the medical examiner would need to talk to risk management and the attorneys to see what she would be allowed to do. You know, and then she also confirmed that she was not supposed to be talking to me. I'm supposed to be talking to risk management. So why is everything being redirected back to risk management, which is a division or department of the hospital? The hospital had purchased 50-50. I'm not sure what the arrangement was, but they entered into an agreement where they became part owners of this facility where the medical examiner's office was. It's called the ECU Brody School of Medicine. So when we start talking about, okay, risk management, we're talking about the hospital. So when I started putting that together, I'm like, so this is evidence right here that the hospital is blocking this part of the investigation. She's blocking the medical examiner from doing her job. And then that's when I end up hiring an independent medical examiner. I hired the independent medical examiner in December, and I got his report back in January telling me that my daughter's manner of death is homicide. I didn't have that before, but he determined that her manner of death was homicide. So from then, I submitted a copy of the report to the DA and to the Greenville Police Department, as well as that's when I'm on the phone every day trying to find an attorney. Nobody would help me. And so about a month after I sent this report to the DA, he sent me a letter back closing the case and said he had insufficient evidence. He could not bring charges because he had insufficient evidence. Now, this man put me on hold for almost 2 years, like a year and a half, having me, you know, because I don't know if you remember, he first lied about having a report from the local medical examiner in 2022.
No, I remember.
Yeah. So he lied about having that report that he didn't have. And then he claimed that he sent the evidence to the medical examiner. And then after that, that's when my calls was blocked from the medical examiner's office. It's like when I would call, they would say, well, I was told to tell you, if you call that, you need to call risk management. So, and again, at the time, I didn't realize that was a violation of my First Amendment, because this is a public office and it's their duty to talk to the public about their loved ones, whatever information that they can find out. To single me out was retaliation and a First Amendment violation. And they prevented me from obtaining information. But see, they did that, in my opinion, because through that office is how I found out that the DA had lied. So now they're trying to keep me from learning anything else, which is why they started redirecting my calls. So, but it wasn't Miss Lowry who did that part. When I was able to talk to her again, it was the spring of the next year in 2023. And even though she told me that she wasn't supposed to be talking to me, she talked to me anyway. And then that's when she gave me the other information. So Later that year, in October, I tried to have the DA removed from office. That didn't work. The judge dismissed it. And then I went on and hired an independent medical examiner. And I also found out in October that when I spoke to Ms. Lowry again, she told me that Dr. Kelly had forgotten to work on my case. And I don't believe that.
What?
You know, she said she forgot.
Oh my!
When I talked to her, she told me that she forgot all about it. How do you forget?
How you forget about it? Wow.
Which means that even
you talking to black people or are you talking to white people?
They were white people.
Come on now.
So even if she had forgotten, you mean the DA didn't remind her?
Come
on. The
on
evidence, she did finally get the evidence. So you mean he didn't remind her to ask her, you know, well, do you have a timeline, how much longer it'd be? You know, because he is putting the weight of this case on her decision. So, and you're telling me that that's what you have to have. So you're not requiring her to adhere to your instructions. You're not, you know, holding her accountable or, you know, letting her know that you'll subpoena the information or hold her in contempt or whatever it is that you can do. You're not doing nothing. So now I know that, okay, there's a conspiracy somewhere, because how does he not, you know, follow up with her? Because if he's following up, she's not going to forget.
And then
so
you hired your personal medical examiner.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
you found out that it was homicide.
Yes.
They can't ignore that.
They absolutely ignored that.
They can't ignore that.
They absolutely ignored it. And
they
like I said,
come on, man. They can't ignore that. Like this, I bet if she had blue eyes, blonde hair,
yes, I agree.
They wouldn't have forgot.
I agree.
Come on, man.
So in March, well, actually through February, it took me a while because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm not a lawyer, but you know, I had a lot of learning to do in a relatively short time period. So I was able to get my complaint wrote out and apply the different laws and statutes and federal regulations and everything so that I could file it in federal court. And the hospital ended up hiring, well, the medical examiner, Dr. Kelly, she's being represented by an attorney from the Department of Justice, and that's standard because she works for a school also.
So you talking about the lady that was in the room with your daughter?
No, the medical examiner that did not do her job.
Uh-huh.
Because basically she's complicit in the obstruction of justice, because you don't owe a duty to the hospital, you owe a duty to the public. So when
I would think like that's like most people that do those jobs, they want to help people. They love to help people.
Right.
So why are you not helping this young lady going through the things she are going through with the lupus? You see what I'm saying? Like that shit just like pissed me off. Excuse my French, man. This shit made me mad as fuck.
So the medical examiner didn't work on the case like she was supposed to because she needed permission from the hospital's risk management before she could be allowed. And that's not the way it works. The medical examiner has the power to tell the hospital, no, I'm going to do my job. And if you don't give me what I need, then I'll subpoena the information from you. She had that kind of power, but she didn't use it. And then the district attorney, he's represented from a separate attorney at the DOJ, at the Department of Justice. Now, the hospital, they went out and hired a law firm called K&L Gates. I looked them up. K&L Gates is supposed to be the 13th largest law firm in the United States. On their website, they boast 45 offices on 5 continents around the world. K&L Gates was started by Bill Gates' daddy. And at first I was intimidated. I'm like, who? What? Just to fight me? They hired who?
Yeah.
And then, you know, once I got past the initial shock, I'm, you know, okay, I know I got a case now. You know, even though law firms was like, well, no, you don't have a case. No, I do got a case, because you're not going to go out and hire a world-class law firm.
I think once they found out those names that are being mentioned, especially that last name Gates, they don't want no parts of it.
Well, I hadn't. The hospital hadn't hired Gates yet. They didn't hire Gates until after I filed.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's who they hired, and it's been a lot of paperwork, a lot of research on my part, because again, I have to kind of like feel my way around as I move. So each one of the attorneys filed motions to dismiss. Well, each one asked for an extension first, a 30-day extension after everybody was served. And then they filed their motions at the end of April, I believe. And so when I read through, their motions, and again, at first I'm like, oh, wow, I ain't got a case. And then, you get past that moment and say, okay, no, you do have a case. Calm down.
No,
let's take it step by step.
Okay.
I said, because basically what they did was they gave you a roadmap. Okay. You didn't really know what you was doing. You tried. So now take what they said and use it as your roadmap to amend your complaint. And so that's what I did. I said, okay, I just have to amend my complaint and address all these things that because you would think that, okay, you tell the truth and you show your evidence and that's all you have to do. And that's not the case. I mean, you have to have, courts want you to have case precedents and everything. For everything that you're trying to argue, they want a case precedent to see how another court has already handled this situation. So, having to do that for everything against each one of the defendants and everything that I'm alleging, okay, well, that's what I'm just going to have to do. And I end up getting it done the best I could. So then they end up having to file another set of motions to dismiss. And but all of them are basing their motions on what they call affirmative defenses. So, for example, K&L Gates argued statute of limitations. It's time barred because of statute of limitations. Everything that she's alleging against the hospital occurred in 2016 or before. But see, he also just, blatantly ignored the allegations from 2022 and 2023 with their interference with the medical examiner's office. So with that, I'm in my 3-year statute of limitations. I also, there's a doctrine called continuing wrong, where if the conduct is the same type of conduct that has extended past the statute of limitations. So in other words, I'm saying back to 2014, they have obstructed justice from 2014 forward. So now with this doctrine, I can go back and tie in everything from 2014. I don't just have to stick to the last 3 years.
See, it's a loophole they found. See, look, this is what I'm gonna tell you, right? You got to action on winning, and the reason I'm saying is because I know firsthand. Like my daddy, he represented himself. He was locked up in Pelican Bay, and from something that transpired, somebody had ended up deceased, and they try to say that he made the people do it. You know what I'm saying? And he fought that case by himself.
How'd it turn out?
He ended up winning.
Okay.
And I say that to say this: somebody whom is incarcerated, fighting a murder charge in jail and representing themselves in jail, and won that case. I know for a fact you got action.
Yeah, and
I know for a fact you got action.
And I thought that this case was going to be where I'm fighting like law doctrines and theories that are so confusing, it's hard to maneuver around. But as it turns out, not with the other two, just with Gates, the hospital's lawyer.
Yeah.
They end up the court don't like when you use the word lying. I'm using the word lying. For example, they tried to say one of their defenses that it seems like Miss Avens is still holding ECU Health responsible for her daughter's death in 2014. And this is not a liability case. It says it on my paperwork, it says it on the cover sheet, it says it, everything that I had to file, that this is a civil rights case. But it's like trying to twist my case into what fit their affirmative defense. So then he says, okay, but so she signed an agreement in 2016 and that barred all the claims. So, that bars this claim. But that has nothing to do with this because this is civil rights, for one. Two.
Was that no, go ahead.
It was for the wrongful death. But also I argued that particular settlement or agreement it's not a blanket coverage. It doesn't mean that it's going to cover everything that you do. It only covers the circumstances of the death, and that's it. This case has nothing to do with that, even though I had to give the background because I'm accusing them of obstructing justice. So now I have to explain why justice was deserved in the first place, right? But the case is about civil rights. The hospital has acted as a gatekeeper where I can't get to the courts because they have prevented everybody else from doing what they're supposed to do, from the SBI to the Greenville Police Department. Back in 2000, here's something else I found out in May of this year. I just happened to locate one of the SBI agents that was assigned to investigate my daughter's death back in November 2014. And she's retired now. So it was someplace online that said she was working there. So I called that number and left a message for her to call me back. And she did. She told me that when she went to the hospital, that the hospital did not make personnel available for interview. So that means the hospital obstructed the investigation that did occur into my daughter's death. How you gonna investigate and you don't interview anybody?
That's not an investigation.
I end up coming up with some standards by CALEA, CALEA. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's something to do with law enforcement agencies, and the agencies are accredited through this agency. So I made sure that the Greenville Police Department is accredited through CALEA and that the SBI office is also accredited through CALEA. And so their rules are not available on the internet, only a list of their chapters. So I was able to contact them and they gave me a temporary link to their rules so that I would be able to access them. And as far as investigations go, at the minimum, the complainant, witnesses, and suspects are supposed to be located and interviewed. And it says at the minimum. So how come they didn't require the hospital when the SBI agent partnered up with GPD to go in and investigate? Why didn't they require the hospital to make these personnel available? They didn't do their job. And yet the hospital also, again, obstructed justice by not cooperating. So I just found that out in May. These reports was turned into the DA's office. That means the DA has half-ass reports with no interviews in them, but claiming that an investigation took place and everybody reviewed records or whatever. And okay, we don't have enough to go on, even though you have the report from Dr. Donald Jason. So Dr. Donald Jason, he's my IME, the independent medical examiner. Yeah. He also has a law degree, a JD degree. So he's an MD and JD. And like I said, he determined that the manner of death was homicide. And then you're just gonna toss that aside. Okay, we don't have. Come on. So, you know, the corruption runs deep. And it's like everybody who the hospital is affiliated with, it seems like, has taken part in making sure that this case stays swept under the rug. So I have alleged discrimination because the white patients under the nurses' care, as far as I know, they all lived past 7 a.m. No other codes was called. That means they received proper enough healthcare treatment, because all of those patients also required cardiac monitoring. Okay. And then with the hospital protecting this nurse, as well as the nurse that falsified my daughter's records, the nurse who falsified my daughter's records entered like 100 different false readings for blood pressure, heart rate, and oxygen into the records. And she entered most of them after my daughter was already dead. But they look like they were entered between the morning of May 10th up until code was called, but they were all entered after code was called and after my daughter died. So that was supposed to be reported to the board of nursing. It was supposed to be reported to authorities, because that's illegal. Nobody reported anything. The board won't even look into it. So like I said, it all runs deep, and everybody seems to be covering the hospital's back or whatever. So, and then the DA, he never questioned these falsified records.
Yeah, it's for surely some type of conspiracy going on, like, to stop, because if hospitals find out that, hey, they got people there, man, like this, man, people will stop going to those certain hospitals. I done seen it happen where they stop going to certain hospitals because they like, hey, they trauma unit ain't shit. Don't go there. You're gonna die. If you get shot and you go there, you're gonna die. You ain't living. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, you got hospitals like Highland Hospital, like in my city in Oakland, California. You get shot, they trauma unit is great. You get shot, man, you better be grateful for them people, whoever they got in there. Because they be saving some lives in that hospital. I guarantee you they save lives in there. And that's why people go to that hospital. I kind of have similarities with your daughter and Rich Homie Quan, because your daughter, she was laying there deceased. She been deceased. And these people was not making knowledge of her laying there. Rich Homie Quan was there deceased. And instead of acknowledging him and knowing that he was deceased and he wasn't breathing, you just put a cover on. You just left and went to school, took your kids to school, knowing he liked taking his kids to school.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
I don't see what be going on with people, man. Like, ain't no way you sat here and restrained your daughter and then did not give her oxygen. Like, you cutting off her circuit. You probably had her restrained tight as fuck. Probably had her restrained tight as hell, cutting off her circulation and shit.
I mean, it was all, premeditation is all up and down through there. Like I said, the monitor was silenced, the ABG test was canceled. And when somebody starts lying and covering up their tracks as you go, they meant to do what they're doing. And that's what she did, start lying all night, lying to the coworkers and stuff like that. And then with the hospital protecting the workers like that, why are you protecting the white workers? The nurse practitioner ended up being disciplined by the board of nursing after I filed the report, because that's something else. The hospital filed a complaint with the board of nursing on June 2nd, 2014, but they left half the information out. They didn't list all the physician's orders that had been ignored. They didn't list, like the different things that the nurse had been trained and qualified in. to go with her failures, to show the board. They left the even the orders for the continued oxygen. They never told the board that. They told the board the part that they wanted to tell them, is what I'm guessing, and it only resulted in a 3-month investigation, which that resulted in a non-disciplinary action, and they didn't report anybody else. So when I filed my reports with the board, the nurse practitioner ended up getting a public letter of concern. The investigation lasted almost a year, and the nurse was disciplined, but the nurse that falsified the records was never disciplined. But I mean, that's just a difference between the hospital filing their report and me filing mine. Plus, the hospital told the board of nursing that my daughter's death was unclear. On May 2nd, you knew what her cause of death was because your doctors filled out the death certificate on May 10th. So they were not honest with the board. And also on one of the questions that the board asked about the nurse, her name is Linda Brixton, they asked, had Linda been disciplined or counseled previously during her employment? With the hospital's report to the board of nursing, they answered that question with no. Now, this is in writing on the paperwork. With my complaint, they answered yes, and then explained that in 2010, the nurse had gave Valium to the wrong patient. And I believe 2013, it was 2011 or 13, I think it was 2013, that she failed to make bedside rounds, and she failed to round on her other patients, and she failed to respond, I believe. I'm not looking directly at the report, but it's just differences. The hospital, lied about her previous disciplines when they filed their report. So, and then even if you want to fast forward, okay, the board of nursing on June 21st, 2015 sent me a letter letting me know what the outcome of their investigation was, which means their investigation is complete. Okay, the nurse, Linda Brixton, she signed her published consent order in November 2015. So I was supposed to get a copy of their final report. Excuse me. So, but I hadn't gotten it. In December, actually before December, I started asking for the report as soon as I knew that their investigation was complete. They kept telling me it was not completed. So finally, in January, I requested by email. And in the email response, it tells me on January 16th that the report will be ready in 45 days. 45 days from January 16th is March 1st. March 1st was the day of mediation. I did not get this report before mediation that had all this other details about the nurse or about the hospital's lives or anything until after. Meanwhile, at mediation, if I didn't settle for whatever, because the hospital would not meet my number anywhere, wouldn't go up like that, but told me if I didn't accept what they was offering, then they was going to use unrelated healthcare information against me if the case went to trial. So basically, they forced me to go ahead and settle for what they wanted to settle for on that day. So that's another thing. Even though their lawyer is claiming, well, she signed this agreement. This agreement was coerced, and it was signed without full disclosure.
That's coercion.
Right. I said, so this agreement should not even be legal to start with. And so I had to submit paperwork showing that I did not have this. And it took the board of nursing 8 months from the time they completed their investigation to release this report to me. Why did it take 8 months? From July all the way till March the next year. The report was withheld. It was withheld by under somebody's orders to withhold it because they didn't want me to have that information before we had mediation.
This is, man. We what we gonna do is, but I'm gonna make my whole show tomorrow. We're gonna talk about this. It's I don't know, man. It's upsetting me right now. It was said because not only she was young, man. Like she was African American, and man, it seemed like, man, when it comes to people of our color, people of our ethnicity, it just seemed like, bro, motherfuckers just want to kill us all, you know, and just want to sweep shit under the rug. Like, bro, I'm tired of that shit. Like, that shit weird. Like, even with Rich Homie Quan, like, you know, they would want to sweep that under the rug. You know, they would have been came out with a toxicology report, you know, and like, hey, they when it comes to this melanin on our skin, you got any type of melanin, oh, they hate you. They hate you.
With the medical examiner not doing her job, she's being prevented because she needs the hospital's permission to work on this case. Can you understand the conflict of interest that creates?
Yeah, that's for surely conflict of interest.
I mean, I'm saying if this is happening, you know, assuming that Miss Lowry is telling the truth, and I don't see why she wouldn't be telling the truth, because Dr. Kelly didn't ever work on the case. So she must be telling the truth. She was prevented. So, I mean, that means anybody that dies at the hospital can, you know, their death can be, or how they died can be manipulated through the medical examiner. Because if she can be prevented from working on a case, she can be told what to write.
Man, this is bad. Let me start this video, man. Let me start this video real quick. We're gonna get right back into it.
Whose testimony might free young Thug in the ongoing RICO case. Rich Homie Quan murdered. The ongoing RICO case against Young Thug is becoming wild by the day, and with Quan's death, it has just become even more complicated. And there's pretty clear evidence that Quan's death is connected to the case, because it turns out that he isn't the only one connected to the RICO that has been killed. Quan's connection to the case can be traced back to his friendship gone sour with Young Thug. Thug and Rich Homie's relationship grew after working together on multiple projects. The two rappers seemed inseparable, creating timeless music and enjoying their newfound success together. They were so close, to the point where people started calling them gay. This controversy was brought about because of how they described their friendship. On an Instagram post, Thug referred to Rich Homie as his hubby. In one post, Thug wrote, "Me and my hubby, Rich Homie Quan for life, you dig." Young Thug was confronted about the situation and explained that it was just a language they used with their close friends.
It's a language. There's nothing stupid or fruity going on. It's the way we talk. It's the way. It's the way we live. Those are my babes, those are my lovers, those are my hubbies, whatever you want to call it.
However, as time passed, the duo's relationship drifted apart and they went their separate ways. One of the earliest signs that the two were no longer on good terms was when Young Thug took to the stage at a show and referred to Rich Homie Quan as Bitch Homie Quan while on the Rodeo tour with Travis Scott in 2015.
Stupid, man.
Quan reacted to this video and revealed that he was hurt after watching it.
My first reaction was, my brother called me drunk, and I took my glasses off. Like, to be honest, I had to get in my feelings. It hurt.
Just a few months later, Quan would clap back by publicly insinuating that Thug was gay. In a video obtained by blogs, Rich Homie Quan is seen berating a fan at a concert in Tallahassee. The fan was allegedly touching Quan, which provoked a homophobic rant to be thrown the fan's way. "Get away from me," Quan said to the fan. "I don't with no back your ass up looking like Young Thug with your gay ass. Get the away from me. I don't like sissies. I'ma knock the out, bro. Get your back, get way back." Young Thug didn't hide the fact that the two rappers were not seeing eye to eye.
What's the relationship with Quan, with Rich Homie?
Young Thug did not hesitate to reveal they were not on good terms.
No, we don't have no problem. Like, I don't think we can be like how we used to be.
Right.
He already just did some bullshit. He already know my heart. So it's like, I'm too pure. So once you do that, it's like, No.
Although Young Thug didn't reveal the details of the incident that led to their rift, his words suggested that Rich Homie had done something that broke their trust. However, one incident that went unnoticed by many rap fans revealed something sinister behind the scenes. In September 2014, Corey Lamar, Rich Homie Quan's dad and manager, was at his barbershop in Atlanta. At around 10 a.m., a group of suspects stormed into the barbershop. The suspects opened fire, shooting Lamar 4 times. The bullets hit him in the arm, chest, and abdomen, causing severe injuries. The gunfire was so intense that it shattered windows and left bullet holes in the walls. The suspect then fled the scene immediately. Luckily, Quan's father survived the shooting. After a decade of no answers, we now know the shooters. Enter Lil Woody and his associate, Threat. Both figures were well known in the streets of Atlanta for their reputations as enforcers. But now, Woody is in court, busy testifying about his past crimes, and one of them was shooting up Quan's dad's shop. The feud between Rich Homie Quan and Threat began over perceived disrespectful comments. Threat felt that Quan was undermining their credibility and treating them as if they were somebody to play with. Threat's anger grew as the feud escalated, and he decided that drastic action was needed to send a clear message. He turned to Lil Woody, his trusted ally, to help execute a plan that would leave no doubt about their resolve. The target, Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop on Bankhead. Me and Threat shot up Rich Homie Quan's dad's barbershop on Bankhead. It wasn't about him personally, but we needed to send a message that we ain't the ones to play with. We ain't the ones to play with, and we wanted to make it clear that nobody should be messing with us or trying to test our loyalty. Lil Woody testified in court. Woody also revealed that the hit had nothing to do with Thug or YSL. I had them choppers, and we were prepared to show anyone who doubted us that we weren't to be taken lightly. The beef was between me, Threat, and them. It wasn't about YSL or anything larger. It was personal, between us and those who were trying to cross our paths, he revealed. In Quan's last interview, the rapper revealed that Lil Woody was lying about the incident. The rapper downplayed the severity of the event and backed up his side of the story by providing evidence. According to Quan, the barbershop was open the same day it got shot up.
What is a liar? The barbershop did get shot up, but it wasn't like, I don't want to talk much into it, but it wasn't like he has over exaggerated it, because the same day the barbershop got shot up, it was up and running. So it couldn't have been like what he said it was. So.
This interview may have put a target on Quan's back, since Woody's testimony is actually helping Thug's case. Quan calling Woody a liar may have been a blunder. Given leaked documents showed Quan was one of the witnesses against Thug, he had to be taken care of. But Quan isn't the only person involved in the case who is dead. Woody's best friend, Threat, was also killed just weeks before Quan's death. Although leaked documents show that Quan was working with the cops, he also had his fair share of legal troubles. Rich Homie Quan violates the law. The first time Quan found himself in a courtroom, he had locked horns with his record label. The rapper felt he was being cheated out of his hard-earned money by his record label, Think It's a Game Entertainment. In a shocking move, Quan filed a lawsuit against the label and its CEO, accusing them of ripping him off to the tune of $2 million. The lawsuit laid bare the allegations. The rapper claimed the label had screwed him out of royalties from several albums, including his biggest hits. According to the rapper's manager, the label wasn't holding up its end of the deal.
We're not asking for anything that is not due to Quan. All we're saying is that the contract in which was signed is not being held up on the label side as far as disbursement of funds. I mean, it's no secret. It's about the money. I mean, you know just as well as I know, Quan is making money. So if Quan is making money, it's only fair that the label pay what the contract states.
The accusations didn't stop there. Quan alleged that the CEO had used some of the misappropriated funds to buy Atlanta real estate for $159,500. Even more damning, Quan claimed the CEO had pocketed $550,000 from a distribution deal with Def Jam for one of his hit records. Feeling betrayed and cheated, Quan cut all ties with Think It's a Game Entertainment. As Rich Homie Quan's lawsuit made headlines, the label retaliated quickly. The label fired back with a countersuit, escalating the legal battle to new heights. They accused Quan of breaching their contract and demanded an injunction to prevent him from releasing any new music or signing with another record label. The label's countersuit was a strategic move to maintain control over Quan's career and protect their financial interests. The label argued that Quan had violated the terms of their agreement and sought to block him from pursuing his music independently. The injunction was a devastating blow to Quan's career. It effectively silenced him, preventing him from releasing new music and stalling his momentum in the industry. The rapper revealed that he suffered from depression during this time and couldn't even listen to the radio.
Yeah, was it like a point in time where you felt like you might have been like kind of dealing with some depression?
I would just say depressed, bro. I didn't even want to hear the radio.
Finally, in 2016, a breakthrough was reached. A settlement ended the bitter legal battle. But just 1 year later, the rapper would find himself in handcuffs, facing more than 2 decades behind bars. On May 27, 2017, Quan and 5 companions were en route to a nightclub performance in Georgia. Along the way, they encountered a police checkpoint on Highway 1 in Jefferson County. The routine checkpoint quickly escalated into a nightmare. Officers conducted a thorough search of the van, uncovering quantities of marijuana, heroin, drug paraphernalia, and a stolen gun. The discovery was a bombshell, leading to the immediate arrest of Rich Homie Quan and his 5 companions. The charges were severe. Rich Homie Quan faced a felony count of possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, a charge that carried a maximum sentence of 30 years. The gun charges were quickly dropped, but the drug charges remained, casting a dark shadow over the rapper's future. After 2 long years of legal wrangling, the turning point finally arrived. The state decided not to proceed with the case due to insufficient evidence. The charges against Rich Homie Quan were dropped, and he walked out of the courtroom a free man. The marijuana discovered was not enough to justify the severe charge of possession with intent to distribute. Furthermore, she highlighted the fact that the drugs were not found on Rich Homie Quan himself, but rather on one of his affiliates. Despite getting away scot-free, it's undeniable that the rap industry has a major problem with drugs, as many young stars have lost their lives after overdosing. From Juice WRLD to Mac Miller, these rappers became victims of drug overdoses. Rappers and drug overdoses. Rich Homie. Quan wasn't the only rapper who brought drugs with him on tour. Juice WRLD also had the same habit, and it didn't end well after a horrific incident. On the 8th of December 2019, 6 days after his 21st birthday, Juice WRLD suffered a medical emergency shortly after landing at Chicago's Midway International Airport and was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital.
It is primary day here.
There's lots of rumors out there about elections, but here are the facts for Nevadans.
Quan and Juice WRLD had one thing in common. They were both addicted to drugs. While he was alive, Juice WRLD did not shy away from openly talking about his struggle with drug addiction. Juice WRLD's ex-girlfriend, Alexia Smith, detailed the late rapper's drug abuse and claimed that the rapper would take up to 3 Percocet pills daily and mix the opioid painkiller with codeine. According to her, the people around him gave him everything he wanted to keep him happy. In the beginning, labels were fighting over him so bad they would have given him anything, Smith said in an interview. On the 8th of December, Juice and his entourage landed at Midway International Airport, Chicago, from Los Angeles. Little did they know that law enforcement officials were waiting to pounce on them on the runway. Reports suggest that the pilot had alerted authorities because the rapper's entourage had guns on them. Afraid of being apprehended with the drugs, the rapper proceeded to swallow them, which was a grave mistake as he started convulsing. The feds administered the opioid antidote Narcan, which revived Juice only briefly. He was then rushed to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he was pronounced dead. Over a month after his death, Cook County Medical Examiner's Office determined that an accidental overdose of oxycodone and codeine caused Juice WRLD's death. But Rich Homie Quan and Juice weren't the only rappers who brought pills with them on tour. And for Gustav Elijah, alias Lil Peep, it was a grave mistake. But just like Juice WRLD, Lil Peep tragically passed away at 21 years of age from a drug overdose. On the 15th of November 2017, 2 weeks after his 21st birthday, Lil Peep was found dead in his tour bus after overdosing on Xanax and fentanyl. He documented an ordeal on his Instagram page. The rapper often talked about his struggle with depression, heartbreak, drug use, and sexuality in his music, as well as in interviews. Even more shocking is the fact that he confessed to having suicidal thoughts. In an interview where the rapper was asked whether he had thoughts of harming himself, he replied, "Yeah, it is serious. I suffer from depression, and some days I wake up and I'm like, I wish I didn't wake up." Even in his last interview, the rapper confessed that he was depressed and that things were getting worse every day, saying, "Things just get worse. Things already get worse and worse and worse every day." On the day of his death, the rapper posted a series of eerie Instagram messages that hinted at his death. He was set to perform at a venue in Tucson, Arizona, but never showed up. The first photo he posted was captioned, "I feel empty." He later posted a video where he swallowed several pills. Later, he posted a video with the caption, "I just want to be everybody's everything. I want too much from people, but then I don't want anything from them at the same time. You feel me? I don't let people help me, but I need help, but not when I have my pills, but that's temporary one day. Maybe I won't die young and I'll be happy." What is happy? I always have happiness for like 10 seconds and then it's gone. I'm getting so tired of this. His next post was captioned, "When I die, you'll love me." Perhaps this was his call for help. However, no one paid attention to him. And a little later, the rapper put up his last post on Instagram. He posted a photo showing pills on his tongue with the caption, "Fuck it." After his death, his mom filed wrongful death charges against Lil Peep's management. However, the management released a statement in their defense, saying that they consistently encouraged Peep to stop abusing drugs and to distance himself from the negative influence of the drug users and enablers with whom he chose to associate. Just like Lil Peep, Quan's addiction was also started by someone close to him.
You don't mind who said that to you? who said they got something for you to keep you up? Was it somebody from the industry or one of your friends?
As a family member.
There's talk online that Quan may have overdosed on fake pills, which is a common occurrence. If true, Rich Homie Quan won't be the only rapper to die such a horrible death, because Mac Miller also suffered the same fate. On the 7th of September 2018, American rapper and record producer Malcolm James McCormick, alias Mac Miller, was pronounced dead after a drug overdose. Despite success in his music career, the rapper lived a troubled life. Miller often spoke openly about his struggle with substance abuse and depression. In a 2015 interview with Billboard, Miller admitted that he was worried about dying because he was doing a lot of drugs, which he had tried to manage. It just eats at your mind, doing drugs every single day, every second. It's rough on your body. In an interview with Larry King, the rapper said, "I had a drug problem for a long time. It wasn't just in music, but I definitely was going through a drug problem, and I think it was more my state of mind. I was just pretty depressed." Substance abuse also got Miller into trouble with the law. He was arrested in May 2018 for driving under the influence and hit and run after crashing into a utility pole and fleeing the scene. On the 7th of September 2018, the 26-year-old rapper was found unresponsive in his home. Miller died from an accidental overdose due to a mixed drug toxicity of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol. 3 men were arrested in September 2019 during an investigation into Miller's death. Cameron James Pettit allegedly sold Miller counterfeit oxycodone pills containing fentanyl 2 days before his death, which were run to Pettit by Ryan Revis and supplied by Stephen Walter. Miller had asked Pettit for Percocet, a prescribed painkiller containing oxycodone, in addition to cocaine and Xanax. Investigators believe Miller snorted the laced pills before his death, with an autopsy on Quan's body yet to be done. It will be interesting to find out how he died and whether there was any foul play. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this video, you can watch similar content by clicking on the boxes on your screen.
Hello, I need someone to tell me what's going on.
Help me, help me, help me!
Late in the night on June 5th, 2021, officers from the
Damn, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, they gotta stay away from these drugs, man. Like that fentanyl, man, because fentanyl wasn't even popping like that in the 90s, even in the early 2000s. Like it was around, but it wasn't like that. But now it's just like, come on, man. Y'all tap in, man. We're gonna be live with Miss Cynthia tomorrow. I'm gonna try to go live in the morning again though, but we for sure gonna go live with Miss Cynthia tomorrow. We gotta get y'all tuned into this. Ain't no way her daughter should still be here. Shit, in my eyes, if things like that can be prevented, and I don't like that. And those are the topics that we must talk about. You know, R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan. But you know, hey, Kesha White was somebody too. You know, so we got to talk about people such as that. Kesha White. You know, Shanquilla Robinson, Zakira Kim. You got to talk about these young women. So y'all tap in with me, man. Look for the clubhouse. We're gonna be in the clubhouse too right now. We about to get up out of here, get up in the clubhouse. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. I know it's y'all Friday. I want y'all to, you know, relax, do what y'all do. You know, gangland, how we do. Hey. Hey, look. I told y'all, look, they dead on here. It's skeletons on here. It's skeletons on here partying. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. So, hey, y'all tap in. Man, Cynthia, tap in. You still on Clubhouse, ain't you? I don't know if you're not, look on the bio. On the bio, in the description of this, in this link, it has my Instagram. Tap in with my Instagram, and hey, I'll let you know what time we can come back on tomorrow. We can just strictly talk about what's going on with your daughter, justice for Kesha White. Yeah, bro, I don't like shit like that, bro. It just irritates me. So yeah, man, y'all know what it is. If y'all didn't get the notification, you gotta sub again, and then hit the notification bell again. Like you got to do everything over. You got to unsub, then you got to resub, then hit the notification bell, and you'll be able to know when we come on. So I appreciate y'all. Shout out Miss Cynthia. And we're going to be back tomorrow with it. Y'all have a good, safe weekend. I love my black people. Y'all stay safe. Stay dangerous around here. I mean, y'all know what it is. It's Gangland. Catch us in the clubhouse. The Real Gangland TV. Download The Real Gangland TV on Clubhouse. The Real, you will see this this emblem right here, this logo, this Gangland logo, The Real Gangland TV. Download that. We be in there every night when we get off the broadcast. So y'all tap in, man. I appreciate y'all. New album dropping. Rent due. Y'all know what it is. We got a reality TV show coming out in November. They doing a casting. It's called The Ice Water House. So y'all tune in, man. I got some shit for y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's Gangland.
Yeah. Trying to make this Benz up. Northwest shit. Up toast, talk shit, and we swallow spit. Niggas fool. Thought y'all was solid. Ain't that about a bitch drip sauce? Mix the Louis with the off-white, you niggas hoes. Game goofy, nowhere boss like. VV's on my chest, Jubilee on my left wrist, and white and blue. B-22s off my checklist. Ride around with 7.6 tools, bitch, we reckless. 30 plus shots if you reach at this necklace. TVC, blast first gang, bitch, we wreck shit. Currency, watch it stack it up like it's Tetris. White on white whips, and I still got the Lexus. Step foot in front of this AR, that's a death wish. It's funny games, so them hollow tips in his funny bone. We sitting with a long ass face, I guess his money gone. Drop low on 2 niggas, that shit had me up. Since you niggas pocket, watch you go ahead, add me up. Smack.
We ain't into that. You niggas ain't got a bag, we ain't into that. We ain't into that. That bitch don't fuck it over, we ain't into that. We ain't into that. You niggas ain't on the block, we ain't into that. We ain't into that. You niggas don't turn no blocks, we ain't into that.
It ain't no plan, both sides, that's what the suckers do. I feel the fans been watching close, I gotta stick and move. Glizzy with a drum, thumbing through blue strips when these bitches choosing. They trying to catch me to wet me, that's why I'm sticking moving. Bitch, I'm a thug that hold the grass, so I can't cease to shooting. 100 to the jeweler, 30 on my wrist freezing. I'm overlapping niggas quick, it ain't no competition. Bitches feeling bitter, cause I'm popping and I'm that nigga. Let it fall back, and I'ma ride one of these rapping niggas. The shooters off of E, bounce out and get the gas and niggas. Talk about 100, I'll spit it twice cause the bag right. Do it for my section, trying to get a set some limelight. Killers on level 4 with no parole, that's facing double life. Broke it out, the bitch was in the bricks when I was selling white. Killers on level 4 with no parole, that's facing double life. Broke it out, the bitch was in the bricks when I was selling white. His hands up.
We ain't into that. You niggas ain't got a bag, we ain't into that. We ain't into that. That bitch don't fuck it over, we ain't into that. We ain't into that. You niggas ain't on the block, we ain't into that. We ain't into that. You niggas don't turn no blocks, we ain't into that.
Niggas know me, been off the points is like back when. Gang in the field, bitch, we be something like the Pac-10.
Gangland, we around this motherfucker, man.
Make, bitch, stand on that. To the head, I'll show a nigga's feelings. My 9th and Wood nigga, up the street from the village.
We ain't into that. You niggas don't turn no blocks, we ain't into that.
Smack thing about Mackie, he gon' stand on business. Make sure you put him down, never leave a witness. No love for the suckers, never on forgiveness. Stomp down on these niggas, cause niggas is big. Ooh, about to blow something. Man got the stick, about to hold something. Ooh.
Y'all know what it is. It's Gangland TV. Sit there and live. Hit the like button. Don't be boosty. And subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification bell, man. That shit easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Easy. Subscribing, that's free as fuck. Hit the notification bell, that's free as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That shit's free.
Gang in the field, bitch, we be something like the Pac-10.